Hey, what is up everybody? VitalSyntax here, and this is not a competitive game like I've uploaded a lot recently. This is just some TDM canals, the M16. And there's a couple things I wanted to talk about. Basically the main thing is I want to talk about stat whoring and competitive gaming and just like a couple changes I want to make to my channel and to my Battlefield experience. So recently, I guess over the past month or so, I've been playing competitive gaming, competitive Battlefield 3 in a 4v4 team for Squad Rush, and it's really fun. It's really fun. It's very satisfying too when you win, and it's frustrating when you lose. But that makes it that much more fun to win. And I've got a really good team, a bunch of really great guys that are fun to play with, fun to talk with, and they're all really good. So that makes it a lot funner when you're not playing with people that are gonna do bad or do poorly. But ever since I started playing on this team, I've felt this pressure to stat whore, and I think everybody on the team feels that way. I think anybody that kind of is in a public eye as far as their stats go, whether they're on a YouTube channel like me or they're on a competitive team, that people are going to be looking at your stats and expecting certain numbers. And for me, that's led to stat whoring. And what I mean by stat whoring is basically only playing the game to increase your stats. And that's how I've been playing for the past month. And at first it was fine. At first it was like, oh, this is kind of fun, I'm boosting my stats and it looks cool. I look like a better player. But after about a month, it is the most fucking depressing thing ever. It's the most frustrating, hollow thing that I've experienced in a video game. So what I mean by that is basically every time I get on to play Battlefield, I'm either playing one of two. I guess I'm playing one of three things. I'm either one, playing a clan match with my buddies, which are fun. One of the things I don't like about clan matches is that you have to use the M16 because it's OP, and everybody uses the M320 grenade launcher, which is fucking retarded. Now, you don't have to use M16, and I'm going to stop personally. Now, I'm not saying I'm never going to use M16, I'm just saying I'm not only going to use it. There's other guns out there that are very close to as good as it. For example, the AUK, the M416. There's a couple other assault rifles, but I mean, you kind of have to stick to the assault kit, which is understandable. But anyway, but when I'm not playing a competitive match, I'm doing one of two things. I'm either playing Metro 64 players Conquest, or I'm playing TDM on canals. Now, why am I playing one of those two? Okay, for example, Metro 64 on Conquest is the fastest way to get your score per minute up. Because there's 64 people, you don't even have to get a kill. You can just keep rezzing people on your team, and I've gotten upwards of 50,000 points in a round that's, I don't know, 15 minutes. And your score per minute can go up 10 points a game, which is a lot of points. At my level, I usually can't change my score per minute very easily, but if I play a round of Metro and just stat whore the whole game, I can increase my score per minute by like 10 points per game. But it's so boring. I mean, it was maybe fun the first 5 times, and the TDM canals is a really good way to increase your kill-death ratio and your win-loss ratio, because I do like the map, but I've played it so much that I'm sick of it. It's, in my opinion, probably the best TDM map, just because there's no... Okay, I shouldn't say there's no, but there's the least amount of shitty spawns. There's the least amount of spawn camping. There's definitely spawn camping and shitty spawns, but in my opinion, it's probably the best TDM map. But I don't play it because it's the best TDM map. I play it because it's easy. I'm super good at it, and I can just every single round get like a 4 KD and almost every time win. And thus, there's a very, very rare chance that the enemy team has a really good set of players. But once again, I'm only playing the game to either increase my score per minute, my win-loss ratio, my accuracy, any of those stats, and it's so hollow after a month of doing this. So, and it makes it not fun. It basically makes it not fun. I mean, I remember when I first got the game, right? Or even right after I got the game, or even during the beta, I used to play like Caspian Border Conquest with the jets and the helicopters and the tanks and stuff. it was so much fun to actually like go for the objective, you know, communicate with Freezing Rain or whoever else I was playing with, and try and win the match. You know, it wasn't about my stats. I didn't even care about my stats back then. I mean, I look at them every once in a while, but I didn't care about them at all. Or I remember when I used to play, I don't know, like Grand Bazaar on there as well. That's a really fun map. Or any of the new maps, like right when they came out, those were all really fun to play. Or playing Rush. Rush is really, really fun to play when you're playing with a teammate or a couple guys on, you know, Mumble or some type of voice chat, because it takes a lot of teamwork to play. But I don't play those anymore because it's gonna hurt my stats, which is just so stupid that I cared about it in the first place. And kind of the reason that I hit my limit is I was playing the other night in the 64-player Rush or Conquest Metro, and there was a guy. It was a no explosive server, right? Because the explosives would be totally gay on there, and it is totally gay. There was an admin in the server, right? And the admin was using an M320, which is the noob tube, right? Since he was an admin, he wasn't getting kicked, and he ended up with like 150 kills and like 10 deaths. It was absolutely ridiculous. All of his kills were with the M320, right? And he just basically had unlimited ammo because there's tons of people playing as support, dropping ammo and whatnot. And I looked at his stats, and his stats were really impressive, except for one thing. So basically his stats was like 1,200 score per minute, which is absolutely off the charts. I mean, much higher than I've ever seen. He had like a 4 KD and like a 5 win-loss ratio. Then I looked at his kills, like what he's used. He had more than half of his kills, more than half. It was his second most used gun with the M320 grenade launcher. Yeah, it's absolutely retarded. And it just kind of hit me like, this is how meaningless stats are. Just because somebody has good stats doesn't mean they're a good player. So that's what I've come down to. I don't want to play I want to play the game. I don't want to play the stats. That's kind of what my message is for this. So from now on, I mean, this is an example of me trying really hard in a canals map, and I ended up with like 42-5 or something like that. I don't remember the exact score, but really good score. So basically from now on, for me, I don't know if anybody else out there feels this way or whatever, but for me, I'm just not going to play for my stats anymore. I'm going to play to have fun. So hopefully that means I'm going to be playing more game types, more maps, not giving a crap about my stats. And if I really wish there was a way to hide my stats, not just because I don't want other people looking at them, because I don't want myself looking at them. That's really what it comes down to, because I look at them so constantly. I mean, I'm like engrossed in them, and they matter way too much to me. So I'm gonna figure out if there's a way to do that. I'm guessing there probably isn't. Regardless, if I end up with a 5 KD or a 0.5 KD or a 0.5 win-loss, or my accuracy drops down to 7, I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's just a game. As long as I'm having fun, the stats don't matter at all. So before you judge something, and I'm totally a bad example of this, before you judge somebody on how good they are based on their stats, you should just rethink. And I'm really bad about that, because people will send me friend requests on YouTube sometimes, and I'll look at their stats, and it's not good stats. I'll just like instantly ignore them, which is really stupid. I shouldn't do that, and I'm not going to do that anymore. But yeah, just before you judge somebody based on their skill, first of all, you shouldn't be judging them on their skill, because it doesn't matter at all. I guess it might matter a tad bit. If they're absolutely horrible, then it might not be fun to play with them. So, but before you judge them on how good they are based on their stats, rethink it, because stats are incredibly meaningless. I mean, yes, it's a good gauge of how good a player is, and I know I'm rambling on at this point, and I'm probably boring some of you with this stat whoring and stuff, but hopefully there's somebody else out there that feels the same way about stats. I know a lot of I'm not gonna point anybody out, but I know a lot of people on my team. Those guys kind of hopefully feel the same way. If not, then I mean, they kind of do the same thing, and that's kind of where the pressure comes from, because I feel like I have to have good stats because they're expected of me, and I have to keep improving them because they're always improving theirs. But hopefully some of the guys on my team out there, if you guys are watching this, will just agree with me that stat whoring is absolutely retarded. and maybe stop doing it as well. I mean, it's up to them. If they enjoy doing that, that's cool as well. But that's just kind of what I'm going to do with Battlefield 3 from now on. I'm also going to be playing, so as far as how it's going to affect you guys on my channel, I'm going to probably be uploading a lot more different types of gameplay as far as game modes and maps and weapons and things like that. Trying to stick away from what I've played 3 billion times in a row. So basically anything other than TDM canals, 64 Metro, and M16. But how it's going to affect you is, one, you're going to see hopefully different types of gameplay and whatnot, but also hopefully you guys are going to see different types of game styles, maybe some jet or helicopter footage. I haven't really spent too much time in either of those because it hurts your score per minute a lot. But they're fun. They're really fun. So I'm going to start doing more of that, and also different games. Tribes Ascend has kind of been the game that I've been wanting to play more, and I really suck at it. I was good. I felt like I was above average when I first started playing it. Maybe because there was a lot more crappy players, or maybe because I was kind of in the groove of things. But I haven't played that game in a while, and I went back and played it a couple times the other nights, and I'm just absolutely horrible. So hopefully you guys can see some tribes on here as well for shooters. And also, oh my gosh, you guys, hopefully you guys have already checked it out if you guys are on the PC, but the Skyrim mod tools are released, and holy crap, they are so easy to use. There's even tutorials that Bethesda released on their YouTube channel. Super simple to use. I am definitely going to make some type of mod on that, because I want to go into game design for my career, and I'm kind of on my way to that right now. I might be switching schools kind of soon, but anyway, the creation kit is such a incredibly powerful tool, and it's exactly what I want to do as a career. So I'm going to definitely mess around with that and just kind of get a feel for what a job in game design would feel like. What would it be like if I got, you know, a job at Bethesda or an awesome game studio like that, which is, you know, kind of unlikely. But so I don't know if I will, you know, do more Skyrim videos that way, or if I'm gonna maybe make some tutorials for that, or maybe just work on a mod and release a mod, kind of unrelated to the channel. But anyway, I know there's a lot of rambling about stats. I just kind of had to get it out of my system. But basically the message is I'm going to start playing the game and stop playing the stats. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to leave a rating or a favorite. Leave a comment down below if there's a way to hide your stats and how you guys feel about stat whoring, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.